The big discoveries by Curiosity for its 9th Landiversary. Hello, and welcome back to another video here on the Tech Region channel. Nervous Mars scientists around the world watched with bated breath as the behemoth Curiosity rover began its descent toward the surface of the red planet, known as the 7 Minutes of Terror. Thankfully for all of us, and probably for the continued future of NASA's Mars exploration program in general, the Skycrane system worked flawlessly, and Curiosity touched down at its permanent home in Gale Crater on August 5, 2012. Since then, the rover has been sending us some impressive pictures and footage of the red planet, and here are the best moments. Let's take a look. Gale was definitely a lake. From orbit, many signs pointed to Gale having been a lake in the ancient Martian past. It has what appears to be water-carved channels running down its walls to the crater floor. At its center is a towering mountain, over 5 kilometers tall, the bottom chunk of which contains many water-bearing, hydrated minerals. And, well, craters are giant holes in the ground, which is topographically conducive to making a lake. But thanks to chemical analyses by instruments aboard Curiosity, such as its rock-zapping laser chem and alpha particle X-ray spectrometer, APSCs, we have confirmation on the ground that the rocks inside Gale interacted with water. Not only that, the water was neutral to slightly alkaline pH, which is a good happy medium for life. This is in contrast to what we saw with the Opportunity rover on the other side of Mars, at Meridiani Planum, where acidic groundwater flowed through the rocks. While there are microbes that thrive in acidic mine drainage on Earth, it's not the best place for a large, diverse ecosystem. It's not clear whether Gale hosted one long-lived lake or a series of slightly less long-lived lakes interspersed with dry spells. But we do know the water stuck around for quite a while to have left behind everything it did, potentially millions of years. Confirmation of controversial methane detections. Now, we had controversial detections of methane before from both Earth-based telescopes and the European Space Agency's Mars Express spacecraft at Mars. Curiosity's sample analysis at Mars, SAM, instrument finally put these arguments to rest by making the first measurements of methane from the Martian surface. The presence of methane is significant because on Earth, methane has two main sources: biological and geological. Certain types of bacteria produce methane as a waste product. So this would be huge if Mars had such bacteria hiding underground. Alas, the more likely explanation is geological, but in a way that is still important. The most common geologic process that generates methane involves rocks interacting with water via a mechanism called serpentinization. This means there may be liquid water interacting with rocks deep within Mars, belching out methane at regular intervals. Going organic. Organic material. Stuff that includes carbon are the building blocks of life. But the Martian surface today isn't a hospitable place for organic material to persist. The harsh radiation environment, due to the lack of a protective magnetic field, breaks down organic molecules. So Curiosity had to start drilling. In 4 different mudstone samples, analyzed by the SAM instrument, it found organic material hiding within a mere 5 centimeters of the surface. It's important to note that organic material does not mean this stuff was produced by or left behind by life. It does, however, add another check to the list of things that could have made Mars habitable in the past. Secrets in the sand. Sand dunes form when wind blows loose sand around, giving it distinctive shapes depending on factors like the prevailing wind direction. They are common on Earth and Mars. Since we understand how they form on Earth and the wind conditions required for different shapes, we can make a good guess as to the past atmospheric conditions on Mars needed to form dunes based on their shape. However, the bagmold dunes inside Gale Crater threw a curveball. Weird medium-sized ripples that we don't see on earthly dunes. These ripples are small enough that they couldn't be spotted from orbit, even with the amazing high-rise camera. They were revealed by images on the ground from Curiosity. When we don't have a good terrestrial analog for a feature we see on Mars, then the scientific detective work begins. Scientists investigating the ripples hypothesize that these might actually record the thinning of Mars' atmosphere. As the atmosphere thinned, the size of the sand grains that it could blow around got smaller and smaller. These ripples may have therefore formed from the power of the wind weakening, pushing smaller loose sand atop the larger, older dunes. Rough terrain. One unexpected science experiment for Curiosity within Gale Crater was the test of toughness when it came to its wheels. All of the previous landing sites on Mars are relatively broad, smooth areas because we used airbag landing systems that required a lot of space to bounce around safely before coming to a stop. Thanks to the advent of the sky crane, Curiosity was able to land in a much more ambitious location than any previous Mars rover or lander. But the rocks on the floor of Gale Crater turned out to be much harsher on the thin aluminum wheels of the rover than expected, punching multiple holes in them. The holes are mostly a cosmetic issue at this point and don't impact the rover's ability to drive. But the engineers monitor them regularly to keep an eye out for structural damage that could compromise wheel functionality. Luckily, the rover has 6 wheels and can still function if the wheel fails. Both Spirit and Opportunity had wheel issues as they aged, with Spirit eventually being driven backwards to work around a wonky wheel. Based on the wheel experience with Curiosity, its successor Perseverance got an upgrade to its wheel system, with a beefier structure made of titanium rather than aluminum. Time will tell how well this upgrade fares over in Jezero Crater. So there you have it. Important moments from Curiosity's 9 years on Mars. Hope you enjoy the video. Thanks for watching.